Hey folks, Bill here from Survival War. Thank you for joining me today in this next video. This is Halloween weekend, so I want to do something a little fun, but nonetheless still a serious survival kit. As you can see in front of us, we have the Stouffer's Animal Cracker Bear Jar. We decided to put a survival kit in it, so we'll crack into it here in a moment. First, I want to take a minute and thank you to all the new subscribers, all the new followers. You guys never cease to amaze me. Everything's just continuing to do well, and I'm loving the conversations we're having in the comments and the messages I'm getting on Instagram and stuff. So thank you guys. I'm going to try and post more in my community channel. I've had some requests from people to start the paid subscriptions, even if a couple have even said even if there's no extra content, they just want to help support and see if I can get more kits out to let me do some more things. So let me know in the comments, is that something you'd be interested? I can do it here on YouTube and I can do it on Instagram. Maybe I'll do both and give the option for whoever wants to do it. But we can continue that conversation after I see if there would be interest in something like that. If I would do that, all that would do is give me some more funds to make some different survival kits, get some different things. Everything would go back into the videos to do this, so that's all it will be. So we'll get into this kit, and thank you guys again. I really do appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me, so thank you, and let's get at it. So we have this. It's the Stouffer's Animal Cracker Kit. Just weighed this. It weighs exactly 69 ounces, so it's about 4.3 pounds. Yes, it's a animal crackers container. This is still a serious survival kit, and you would not be hurting if this was all you had. And I wanted to do something. I had a couple people asking if you can make survival kits in plastic containers instead of metal. And of course you can. It just gives you some different options, limits you a little. But depending on how you pack it and what you put in there, by all means, yes, you can use plastic containers for survival kits. I wanted to use something a little fun and something that everybody had access to. I know some of the Kafaru pouches, like the different military stuff I've done, they're not as easy and obtainable. So most grocery stores are going to have this. My local Walmart, these are like $6.50, so they're not ridiculously priced at all. We'll get into it and let's go, guys. So unscrewing the top here, first thing we have is a couple needles. We have a heavier duty repair needle and a curved stitching needle. So we have those on top. The ability to repair your gear is going to be huge in a survival situation. Well, mind you, all these kits are meant to be generally carried in a pack. It allows you just shove in a pack and go. For any of the people who thought the coffee can kit was impractical, I give you the teddy bear cookie jar kit. So we'll go at it. First on top, all cotton bandana. You can use this to clean yourself, dry off, char cloth, pack wounds, improvise bandages, tie stuff up. You can use it to carry things, whatever it may be. There's a ton of uses for bandanas. So we always go with an all 100% cotton. So bandana is first thing on top. Next up, one of the upgrades in this kit. This is a full size Yuko stormproof match container, fully filled and with a couple extra strikers. So we have our matches. There we go, guys. Fire. You've heard me talk about these Yuko stormproof matches. These are one of the key components in a survival kit. These work when they're dipped in water. It can be blaring wind, rain, snow, whatever it may be. These are always going to light. This gives you a guaranteed flame, and at times when a lighter won't even do that. So Yuko stormproof matches in every kit. Sometimes you change the container on them, but I put these in all my survival kits for that reason. We'll get into cutting tools real quick. You've seen it. This is pretty much my go-to Swiss Army knife, and we're going to include a Swiss Army knife in every kit possible. This is the Victorinox Farmer X. We have the saw, awl, can opener, scissors, the fantastic Victorinox blade, and that punch. So this gives us all the tools we need with those scissors, the saw, and the knife blade, including the awl, to do a lot of things we're going to need in a survival situation, whether it's punching holes, cutting traps for food, any poles we're going to need for shelter, whatever it may be. This is going to be able to handle it. So, a major addition to some of the recent kits, we'll go right to it. We added a fixed blade knife. So, this is the Moore Garberg. We want a full tang carbon steel knife with a sharpened spine. It fits in there. Having a fixed blade on you is an immense improvement on your ability to provide yourself. Yes, the Swiss Army knife is nice and all, but having a full tang fixed blade lets you process more firewood, have a little heavier duty use knife. You can do light chopping. This knife really isn't that big enough for that, but you can do some cross sectioning with a baton and stuff and still cut those larger items. And this is going to be a great striker for a ferro rod. And in a pinch, with the carbon steel blade, you can use a piece of shale, slate, whatever it may be, flint, to strike a spark off there. So, full-size fixed blade, more Garberg in this kit. Next up, we have 30 feet of 550 cord. Number of uses. You guys, paracord, we have the 7 inner strands, so this is a lot more cordage than you would think just by looking at it. Big reason we have this in there, if you wanted to make this your only item, you could use this, tie around this thing's neck right here, and it's going to give you an ability to carry it. That's on top of all the normal uses for cordage: shelter, fishing, trapping. Those are the main things you're going to use this for, but having cordage in your kit's never a bad idea. And it's one of the few items that are a must-have. So, 550 paracord in this kit. Here we go. Another upgrade, we have a headlamp. This is a Black Diamond Astro. Runs on 2 AAAs. Having a headlamp is a big upgrade over having just that photon light. Hands-free light is a huge advantage. It's going to let you navigate easier, move in the darkness, work in the darkness, waning light. Having a headlamp is just a great firepower improvement. When you're looking at your capabilities, this is one of the smallest and greatest things you can add to your kit. So having a headlamp, highly recommended. Every kit you can fit it, have a headlamp. Next up, you guys have seen this. This is just our vial of Himalayan salt. In a survival kit, you want to be able to provide yourself with some electrolytes and salt. So we have this in here. It's not a crazy amount, but it is a solid amount if you find yourself in that situation. So here we have a small Ziploc bag with some assorted bandages. And then on the back, we have a couple flossers and toothpickers. Getting things out of your gums, that's going to be a huge thing. It's an easy way to get infections in your gums, so being able to close wounds and then having the toothpickers on the back, it's going to let you provide for your personal hygiene and cover any of the wounds you may face out in the woods. So, next up, 2 candles. You guys have seen these in just about all my kits. We carry these because it lets you, in tandem with some of the other pieces, make microclimates for shelter in the cold. They provide light at night. Multiple uses for having candles and wax in a wilderness survival situation. So we have those. On top of being a great flame extender. So if you don't want to burn your matches, you light this, hold it under your tinder, and they're going to let you catch that fire instead of using your other consumables. So. Full-size Bic lighter. Pretty self-explanatory, having a guaranteed flame. Huge, always have a Bic lighter in your fire kit. So, roll of duct tape. This is, I believe it's 10 yards. You guys have seen this. I don't roll these, I buy these. It's just a better use of my time, and for the price, I can get a bunch of these for that much money and throw them on my kits. So that's why we do this. Having duct tape. Repairs. We have some plastic bags, ponchos, tarps. This allows us to repair those and keep their continuity together. So duct tape is a huge plus in a survival kit. We have our compass. Being able to navigate out of a bad situation, if you have that ability, is huge. So having a reliable compass is a major plus in a survival kit. This will let you get your general direction. Knowing how to use a compass is important. So we have that Breton tag-along compass. This is glow-in-the-dark version. So we have a compass. It's going to get hard here in a minute to start pulling stuff out of here, but we have our thread that goes with that curved needle for repairing gear, clothing. Our clothing is our number one source of cover, so we need to make sure we can repair that and keep that together. So that's why I have this and the duct tape and the super glue bought later on in the kit. So being able to repair our clothes is key. That is our first form of cover, and we need to keep that together at all costs. So let's see. Next up, survival mirror, signal mirror, excuse me. The ability to signal when we're in a rescue situation, when we're in a survival situation, is huge. Being able to reach people at a distance is key to that. So that's why we have this in here. This is going to let you reflect off the sun, flash, and get people's attention. So we have our signal mirror. Okay, so let's see how I'm going to do this. I'm going to try and bring out a major part of this kit all at once. Okay, so we're going to slide that to the back. Inside the kit, we have a GSI cup. That is a stainless steel cup, and in that we just packed a bunch of other stuff in there. So we're going to set this aside for a minute. Come back to here, finish emptying these contents before we go through the cup. In here we have some wax dental floss. It's about, 50 meters. So we have a ton of extra cordage and the ability to keep our teeth maintained. So floss on top of those pickers. Make sure we can keep good dental hygiene, because tooth problems are nothing you want to have out in the woods. So dental floss for the hygiene aspect and the cordage aspect. Okay. I'm going to go through. The additional cordage we have 3 hanks. Each hank is either 15 or 20 foot of number 18 bank line. So I believe we have minimum 45 here, and I think it's actually 55 feet we have total, because I believe there's 2 20s and a 15. So having cordage for building shelter, fishing, whatever it may be, you can never have too much in a survival kit. So pair this with the floss, the thread, the fishing line you're going to see here and here, and the 550 cord. And we got cordage covered very well. So in a kit like this takes up no space, and we actually need space fillers. So this photon light is a good addition to having to include with our headlamp. So we have a photon micro light. Getting into some of the food aspects of the kit. You've seen these before. These are the Justin's peanut butter and hazelnut. Great for sustainment or for using on traps, whatever it may be. It's going to give you some options. Having shelf-stable sustenance in your kit is a key part of a quality survival kit. So we got 2 packets of this. Each one's 1.15 ounces. May not sound like a lot, but on traps and stuff, this is going to last you a good while, and it's going to be able to provide yourself. So next up, we have medications. We have 6 Imodium tablets. Enough dual-action pain reliever for 48 hours in this kit. And I believe it's 6 antihistamines. So Benadryl, dual-action Tylenol, ibuprofen, and then Imodium. Anti-diarrheals are key. And pain relievers and the aspect of preventing allergic reactions with the Benadryl is key. So we have those in that survival kit. Super glue. We keep it in a small Ziploc bag. Closing up cuts, mending gear. You can, in a pinch, you can use it as a fire starter. Number of uses. Something that's hard to replace out in the wilderness, so we have some super glue. Next, we have 10 large safety pins. Again, add these in tandem with your fishing kit. Clothing repairs, improvise spears, gigs, whatever it may be. A bunch of uses for safety pins in a survival kit. I'll pull out a couple other things here. Self-explanatory. We have our tops, knives, rescue whistle. Very loud, very small, compact. We wrapped it with some orange duct tape just to make visibility a little better. You can throw this on a lanyard if you do find yourself in a situation with some of your other gear to keep it on you at all times. This, your photon light, your signal mirror, have them on you at all times. So, Tops survival whistle. Just some lip balm. You can use this for waxing, for using on tinders, cotton, number of things. Protect your lips so you don't crack. You can use this on as a fire starter extender. A lot of uses for lip balm out in the woods, so that's why we have this. This is medicated. That way, if you do split your lips out in the cold, it lets you heal them up a little quicker. So these are something I started putting in my kits recently. These are just some earplugs. For somebody who finds themselves in a survival situation, sleeping at night can be hard. So popping these in before you head to bed, it's going to cut down on some of the noise you're going to run into out in the woods. So just a simple pair of earplugs, cost nothing, take up very little space and weigh almost nothing. Next up, just have a dude wipe in here, cleaning cuts, wiping yourself, whatever it may be. Just have one in here in case this is almost a little bit of a luxury. If you need it, we have it. It's just something small you can add, takes up no space in here. So next up, honey. Lots of uses for honey. Sustenance, adding to teas, beverages, using for traps, for bait, and in a pinch, 100% raw honey. This can be used as a mild antibiotic or antiseptic on cuts. So have this in there. It's good at preventing infection, good for sustenance, good morale boost if you're down. Having some sweetness with the honey is going to go a long way. Next up, we have some ginger turmeric, lemon ginger turmeric tea bags. We have 5 in here. One a day for 5 days. It's going to give us some days for sustenance. So we have the tea bags. Folks, back. Dogs kind of went nuts. Had to handle them real quick. So left off with the next up item was the tinder tabs. We have 7 in this kit. You fluff these up, hit them with your ferro rod, and that's going to be easy tinder to get your fires going. So we do have some man-made tinders in this survival kit. These are the tinder quicks. Last few items in here. Small fishing kit. I think there's about 25 feet of 10-pound fishing line, a couple sinkers, some lure, a couple flies, and some barbed hooks. Having the fishing kit with the safety pins allows you to make an improvised fishing reel, little fishing pole. So next up, we have a small magnesium pencil sharpener. Lets you make some fine tinder. You can scrape pieces off of that to get your fire started as well. And if you want to make a spear, gigs, this lets you put fine points on wood, so without wasting your knife. But again, its primary source is for making tinder and the magnesium. Just a small button compass. This is a backup to our larger Brunton tag-along. Having a backup compass, if something should happen, you can keep this in the kit or in your pocket, whatever it may be. Just a little extra thing that we could throw in there because space provided for it. Just a small bundle of trapping wire, or a snare wire, excuse me. This can help you set some snares, a couple simple ones, make frog gigs, whatever it may be, repair gear. Number of uses, so having some small gauge snare wire can go a long way in a survival kit. Last few items in here. I'm just going to scoop them all out at once. Set them here. We have our bouillon cubes. These are just some beef bouillon cubes for making soups. It's going to give us a little bit of nourishment out there. We have 4 of them. It's going to let us make 4 soups, so just a little bit of sustenance if we're out there. And some feel goods. We got some sweet tart candies and a sort of Jolly Ranchers. Depending on the time of the year, the Jolly Ranchers might not be ideal, but even if they do melt inside the Ziploc bags, they're not going to get on everything, and you can still eat them. So that's what we have in this kit. Just some sugar, some carbohydrates, keep you going in case you really start getting down out there. Okay, so we'll break into this next. This was nice. It sits right down in there, down in the center. There's a lot of meat and potatoes in this kit, in this GSI cup. First up, we have the Victorinox sharpener. We have that as a fishhook sharpener in there. It's just a ceramic rod, and then it has a pull-through sharpener right there. Great little tool to keep your blades sharp in a survival situation. Just a small lanyard of some 550 cord. You can never have too much cordage in a survival kit like this, so extra 550 cord. There we go. 10 3-inch nails. Number of uses for this: improvised fishing implements, gigs, building structures, setting up weaving pattern, weaving jigs, whatever it may be, puncturing holes and stuff. Nails have a lot of uses out there. We have 10 in this kit. You can see I wanted to keep things in Ziploc bags this time to keep them a little more organized so we understand what we have and what we know. Fine point Sharpie for leaving notes with our Right in the Rain notebook. And included with that this time, we have small pencil with an eraser. Even though writing in the notebook with a Sharpie will not run, that's why we want the Sharpie and the Right in the Rain notebook. So we can leave those weatherproof notes, but we do have some options with the pencil and the Sharpie. So that's great for leaving notes if we have to move away from camp. For someone who may find us, we can let them know our statuses, where we're going, what's happening. So that's huge. Next up, square of tinfoil. Great for cooking, building a windscreen, improvised dishes. A lot of uses for a small piece of tinfoil. I believe this is, 18 inches wide, and I think I have 4 foot long. So good piece of tinfoil. Number of uses in a survival kit. You can use to cook with, a lot of things. So having options and being creative is a huge thing in survival. So next up, a little bit of extra water storage. This is a 1 liter Whirlpack bag. You guys have seen these before. Just gives an extra ability to store some water. Right here we have our ferro rod. Nice size. It's not one of the mini ones you see in some of my kits. So we have a full size ferro rod. Great for this should be your primary fire starter in the woods. This or the Fresnel lens in the kit. If you can use these, save your other consumable fire starters. So ferro rod for the win. In the center here, we got 40 aqua tabs. So with these 40 aqua tabs, I measured, this holds just about 60 ounces. So 2 aqua tabs in here will be able to purify 2 liters of water. So that lets you fill this up 20 times and get safe, clean drinking water. So that's why we have those aqua tabs to go with that. That's the nice thing about having a big plastic container like that. You can make water safe in larger amounts. So next up, again, weather's getting cold in my area here in Pennsylvania. Hot hands. We're always going to have these here. I talked about this before. You want to have hot hands in here, especially when weather's getting cold. If you do find yourself in a situation, you get wet, dunked in water, whatever it may be, you're losing dexterity in your hands. Having these, being able to crack them open, get them going, and regain your dexterity to allow you to use your hands and fingers is huge. If you lose that ability, you're going to lose your ability to provide for yourself in a survival situation. So the hot hands are a must-have for me. Another one of those evergreen pieces of survival, a Fresnel lens. Being able to use the sun to start your fires is huge. This is a forever fire starter. So this is going to be in every one of our kits. This isn't negotiable. This is every kit we have. This is going in there if this space provides for it. So Fresnel lens. And onto the real meat and potatoes. We have our shelter. The ability to keep ourselves out of the elements and regulate our core temperature. We have 2 XL heat sheets by SOL. You know this. These are the only space blankets I use. They are more durable. They're a little bigger. They're less puncture resistant, or more puncture resistant, excuse me. These will let you provide many different shelter options. You can improvise a poncho out of them. Lots of options. That's why we go with the SOL XL heat sheets. And then along those same lines, we have our SOL XL emergency bivy. Again, it can be used as an improvised poncho, but this is meant to help us build a shelter and regulate our core temperature to stop hypo and hyperthermia. If we lose the ability to regulate our core temperature, everything's out the window. That's your number one thing, staying hydrated and regulating that core temperature. Those go hand in hand. Last thing in the kit, my small file tools. This is just a cut down Nicholson file. You can use it as a flint and steel striker, fire steel striker, sharpening tool, and something to fine tune figure 4 deadfalls and traps. So we have a file tool. And last but not least, you saw this. This is just the stainless steel GI cup with the wing handles. So we have the ability to boil water. Yes, it's in a smaller amount, but we still have that ability to boil and use this as our water storage container. So I think with that, we have a fairly solid improvised survival kit while using a container that is readily available for just about everybody. If you guys have any questions, I want to hear them. I want to see your comments, what you think, things you would change. Let me know. Thank you guys. I appreciate from the bottom of my heart all the continued support, all the comments. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.